You're watching WDSU.
Right now at 5, an NOPD officer killed in the line of duty laid to rest today, what family and friends of Officer Daryl Holloway said about their loss. And Governor Bobby Jindal makes a national announcement. Louisiana citizens weigh in on the new Republican presidential hopeful. Your news starts right now.
On your side in Southeast Louisiana, this is WDSU News at 5.
Good evening, I'm Gina Swanson. The NOPD said goodbye to an officer who was killed in the line of duty while transporting an inmate back in June. Reporter Cody Sullivan has the latest on Officer Daryl Holloway's funeral. Cody.
Caring, courageous, kind, and loving are just some of the great things you hear when you ask about Officer Daryl Holloway. Family and friends spent today saying goodbye to the beloved officer. The American flag outside of the 5th District Police Headquarters flew at half-mast, honoring Officer Daryl Holloway, who was laid to rest today. As the procession began, members of the community and police officers stood together as one, paying respect to the man who meant more to them than just an officer in blue.
It's important for me, obviously, in my official capacity as U.S. Attorney, to make sure that his family, the NOPD family, understands that the Department of Justice is here supporting them at this very difficult time. Personally, I also had very strong connections to this family. Grew up for many years right across the way from the Holloway household there in Kellerick Street. And so it's a very, very difficult time for a lot of people here in the city right now.
There's been a tremendous amount of support for Officer Holloway and his family. Citizens from all over stopped by to pay their respects to the officer who was loved by so many.
I had the privilege of working with Officer Holloway. When I first started, he was in the 5th District, and I used to work crime scenes, and I had the privilege of working with him. He was a very pleasant guy, easy to talk to, and very well respected.
Family and friends say the impact from this tragedy is one that the entire city will feel. Officers and citizens hope to now move forward in a positive light, honoring Officer Holloway the way he would want. Citizens and officers came from all over to pay respects to the late Officer Daryl Holloway. NOPD hopes to find an answer for the senseless violence happening in the city.
All right, Cody, thanks for that report. Meantime, new information in a New Orleans East murder. The NOPD has arrested a man they linked to the crime. 31-year-old Lindsay Nichols' body was found in the trunk of her burned-out car June 21st on the corner of Lake Forest and Michoud Boulevards. 30-year-old Thayon Sampson was booked with 1 count of second-degree murder yesterday. The Orleans Parish coroner later determined that Nichols had initially died of a gunshot wound. Sampson is being held on a $2.5 million bond. In Gentilly, a SWAT standoff that took place throughout the day came to a tragic end. The standoff involved a murder suspect that killed his girlfriend the week before in her home in the desired neighborhood. We now go to reporter Darren Ciano with more on the standoff. Darren.
Before the sun came up early Wednesday morning, NOPD SWAT team members responded to a apparent hostage situation at a motel. Police say 25-year-old Canel Harrell was armed and wanted for murder 1 week earlier, but his grandfather says he did nothing wrong.
He said he didn't do the crime, and he don't want to go to jail for it.
Following a standoff that lasted more than 5 hours, police spent countless time negotiating with the suspect, but ended tragically.
He shot himself actually after negotiations, probably 5 hours after we've been talking with him. So the initial negotiations were with the U.S. Marshals at 8:30. Our teams got here at 9:30. We started negotiations. We've been negotiating all day throughout the day.
Police say Harrell allegedly shot and killed his girlfriend, Melissa Hunter, at her home in the desired area. After residing in the motel overnight, family members of the suspect believe they knew what was the right option.
Give himself up, and we will be behind him 100%.
In the hours following the standoff, Harrell later died from a self-inflicted gun wound to the head. He was not holding anyone hostage inside the motel when he pulled the trigger. I'm Darren Ciano reporting.
All right, turning now to your Exactcast as we take a live look outside. It's what everybody's talking about, the heat. Let's go to meteorologist Quaylen Murphy with your Exactcast. Quaylen.
Thanks, Gina. And the heat going nowhere. Very little in the way of rain relief. Here's the satellite and the radar showing just isolated cloud cover, isolated rain and storm, some activity still on the North Shore, some activity also along the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Other than that, quiet conditions. 88 degrees at the airport in Kenner, wind south-southeast at 5 miles per hour. Still some triple-digit heat index values hanging around. 103 is how it feels at the Lakefront Airport. It feels like 102 in Slidell. Here's your forecast through this evening and overnight. A slow cool down, if you want to call it that. Still feeling like 94 degrees at 10 o'clock tonight. Temperatures still in the low to mid 70s and 80s. Will drop into the upper 70s to near 80 degrees as we go into the overnight hours of Monday morning. The heat and humidity sticks around to start the week, but there will be better rain chances as we head towards the end of the 7-day forecast. I'll have details on that coming up in my full Exactcast in just a little bit. Gina, back to you.
All right, Quaylen, thanks. New at 5, the NOPD searching for a missing girl from the Desire area. 14-year-old Destiny Barnes was last seen by her mother at their home last night. Police say the mother and daughter got into an argument over a cell phone, and Destiny left the house just about 10:30 without permission. Take a look at your screen. If you know anything about the whereabouts of Destiny Barnes, contact the New Orleans Police Department. That number 821-2222. Well, a text message may have been the key to saving one Tennessee woman's life this past weekend in Slidell. The St. Tammany Police Department arrested 34-year-old Lee Meadows of Clarksville, Tennessee, Saturday evening after responding to a call that a Tennessee woman was being held captive in a Slidell hotel. The woman had sent a text message to her sister, which Slidell police were able to trace and locate the victim, who reportedly had been kidnapped, beaten, and raped. Meadows was recently released from jail on abuse-related charges before kidnapping the woman and fleeing Tennessee to Louisiana. The victim was brought to a local hospital to be treated for multiple injuries and broken bones. A motorcycle crash in Louisiana has claimed another life, the second one in less than 24 hours. Louisiana State Police Troop B say 39-year-old Sean Clouston of Pennsylvania was driving his motorcycle at a high rate of speed on Highway 3154 last night, just about 10 o'clock. Clouston landed in a drainage canal after hitting a curb and running up a small levee. Clouston, who was not wearing a helmet, was pronounced dead on the scene. Police are awaiting results of a toxicology test pending an autopsy. A rally calling for the removal of Civil War symbols around New Orleans is planned for Friday. The New Orleans Social Justice Collective has organized speakers from the NAACP and other groups for a call to action. The rally is in support of Mayor Mitch Landrieu's statements earlier this week that the city should consider renaming some of its Confederacy-affiliated landmarks. The rally will take place Friday at noon at Lee Circle. 3 Louisiana abortion clinics began their week in court this morning in Baton Rouge. A federal judge will hear evidence and testimony for the next 5 days in the trial. The hearing challenges the state law requiring that there be a hospital within 30 miles of any abortion clinic in the state. The doctors, who have sued anonymously as John Does, have kept all clinic information confidential under a court order, including staff physicians and patient records. State-employed same-sex couples in Louisiana can now apply for the federal health insurance program. The right for equal spouse benefits comes after the Supreme Court ruling that legalized same-sex marriage in all states on June 26th. The Office of Group Benefits says couples married on or after that date have 30 days after the marriage to apply for coverage. The Retired State Employees Association also sent a notice concerning same-sex couple benefits on Thursday. All applications must be faxed or postmarked by August 11th. After the Supreme Court's ruling on gay marriage in June, Governor Bobby Jindal issued an executive order. His goal to protect people here in Louisiana who disagree with the idea of same-sex marriage, but his actions have not received the warmest welcome. Raymond Price has more on this issue. Raymond.
That's right, Gina. We saw the backlash in Indiana and Arkansas, but Governor Bobby Jindal is sticking to his guns. He's issued an executive order for a religious freedom bill. Now, the bill died in the legislature, and that's where some lawmakers and others say it should have been buried. Senator Karen Carter Peterson fired back at the governor's action and inactions during a Senate meeting in Baton Rouge, claiming that Jindal is not looking out for the people's interest.
When is enough going to be enough around here? When is he going to roll up his sleeves and come to work and do the people's business that he asked to do? We didn't beg him to run for governor. He asked to run for governor.
The measure essentially creates protections for private businesses whose owners and employees oppose non-traditional marriage. Some say it allows for discrimination. Jindal says it protects Christians from discrimination and only guarantees constitutional rights.
First Amendment to the Constitution says that Louisianians, Americans, have the right to live according to their religious beliefs 24 hours a day, 7 days a week without discrimination.
While the governor remains committed to his decision, some people think the outcome will have a drastic effect on tourism, a vital component of the state's economy.
This state depends on billions of dollars from the tourist industry, which includes conventions and the leisure traveler, and we don't need this type of issue distracting or deterring potential visitors and conventioneers from coming here.
And the tourism industry is already taking jabs. 2 New York State lawmakers have asked their governor, Andrew Cuomo, to ban all non-essential state-funded travel to Louisiana. In the letter, New York State Assemblyman Danielle O'Donnell says, "We sent a letter to Indiana and Arkansas. We'll do the same to Louisiana." Gina?
All right, Raymond, thanks for that report. Coming up, the buzz from Governor Jindal doesn't stop there. Hear reaction from Louisiana citizens on his bid for the White House. And the Audubon Aquarium had its own announcement this morning. Find out the gender of the aquarium's newest baby penguin and how it was revealed to guests. Well, it's been the chatter for a while, but Governor Bobby Jindal making it official. He is seeking the highest office in the country. Amari Cordova in the studio with more on Jindal's campaign plan. Amari.
Yes, Gina, after months of speculation, Governor Bobby Jindal announced at the Pontchartrain Center that he will be throwing his name on the already long list of Republican presidential hopefuls for 2016.
I am governor of the great state of Louisiana, and I am running for president of the greatest country in the world, the United States of America.
The announcement comes only hours after Governor Bobby Jindal tweeted that he would be running for office earlier today. 2016 may in fact paint a new picture for the Jindals as we see a much more playful side of First Lady Supriya.
You know, of course, the fact that a man would send his wife out on live television to say whatever she wants about him, that by itself is a little fearless.
And fearless is exactly how Jindal delivered his speech, saying that creating a stricter immigration policy would be amongst his top priorities if elected.
If you want to immigrate to America, you must do so legally. You must be ready and willing to embrace our values, learn English, and roll up your sleeves and get to work.
The opinion of whether or not Governor Jindal should run for office is definitely split, but there are some people out there that feel as though he's the perfect candidate for America.
I'm really just excited to kind of see where he's ready to lead us, and I'm really excited to just kind of rebuild America with Governor Jindal.
Those same sentiments are not shared by everyone, and one protester in particular says that she fears for the future of America with Jindal as its leader.
He doesn't have a heart. He has no heart for equality. He has no heart for our children who are gay. He has no heart for the older people. He's ruined the city. He's ruined the country.
And with the next presidential election scheduled to take place on November 8th, Jindal and the 16 other GOP candidates have a little over a year left to campaign.
All right, Amari, thanks for that report. A new plan is set to create job opportunities in the Crescent City. It's allowing employers to come to the community and recruit workers. Reporter Crystal Holmes has more on how these opportunities will affect tourism.
The plan over the next year is to host these pop-up or flash job fairs at least once in every council district. This is the second one in District Council B. The New Orleans Convention and Visitors Bureau decided to go a different route from a normal job fair, bringing employers to the community. Not having the worries of going downtown and pay for parking, this flash career fair has made it convenient for residents to stay in the community. People are able to walk in and talk to 12 employers from places such as the Hyatt, Hilton, and Walk-Ons. Resume experts were there to give advice and tips on how to improve them. Senior Vice President of Public Affairs Cheryl Teemer says the flash job fairs across the city will focus on the tourism industry.
Teamer says she hopes people take advantage of this opportunity.
We have great jobs for people not only to start at entry level, but across the career platform with great benefits, great opportunities for a diverse group of people. So we want to be in the community where the people are, and we want to make sure that they know about hospitality and tourism and what it means to New Orleans.
Now the next job fair will be sometime in September. The exact date and location will be announced at a later time. Reporting on your side, I'm Crystal Holmes, WDSU News.
All right, another place for new employees, the Pelicans. Auditions for the 2015-2016 Pelicans dance team will be held this Saturday at the Pelicans practice facility in Metairie. Registration starts at 9 a.m. and interested contestants should be at least 18 years of age, a high school graduate, and you gotta be in top physical shape. Finalists will be selected for a training camp to take place next week, and the final 20-person dance team will be announced June 18th. All right, turning now to your ExactCast meteorologist, Quaylen Murphy here. A lot of people looking for the shade, turning up the air conditioner, just staying inside, avoiding the heat altogether.
No shade unless you're throwing it. Otherwise, conditions are hot and humid. The rain chances are low. We'll keep it that way, Gina, unfortunately, to start the week. Satellite and radar showing mainly dry conditions with the exception of an isolated shower or storm. Grabbing my clicker there before the camera roll. Here we go. Satellite and radar showing the isolated storms mainly on the North Shore around the Mississippi Gulf Coast near Biloxi. A strong storm headed your way. Otherwise, we are dry and hot. 95 degrees was the high at the airport today, 1 degree off that record high of 96 degrees, 99 in Hammond. 88 degrees at the airport now. Winds are south-southeast at 5 miles per hour. Humidity is still high. Temperatures upper 80s and lower 90s. We did get some storms rolling through this afternoon, and that helped to drop the temperatures down just a bit, but it still feels like 102 in Galliano and Slidell. It feels like 103 at the Lakefront Airport. That's the heat and humidity combined to give us the heat index values through this evening. Still mainly upper 80s to near 90 degrees. It won't be until after midnight that we drop down into the upper 70s and lower 80s. Those will be your wake up temperatures into Monday morning. High pressure solid over the central U.S., especially the south, leaving areas like Dallas and Houston hot and dry. Isolated storms around New Orleans. Most of those storms riding the ridge of high pressure to our north. That's also where the severe weather threat will remain. For us tomorrow, rain chances once again low. Isolated showers will end tonight by sunset into Monday afternoon. 10 to 20% chance of rain and storms only, and we'll keep that pattern in place through the middle of the week. No tropical development expected over the next 2 to 5 days. Great news for the Atlantic Basin, including the Gulf of Mexico, Caribbean Sea, and the Atlantic Ocean. Tonight, 75 to 81 degrees. Tomorrow, hot and humid. Yes, we do it all over again. Upper 80s, low to mid, even upper 90s. Your heat index values 103 to 106. No heat advisory for tomorrow. Will be below heat advisory criteria, which is 108. But certainly that could be sparked tomorrow afternoon into Tuesday. Your 7-day ExactCast shows a little bit of change, and that's towards the end of the 7-day ExactCast. Temperatures down to near normal, 92. Rain chances up just a smidge. Gina, back to you.
All right, Quaylen, thanks. Well, the gender of the latest penguin to hatch at the Audubon Aquarium of the Americas has been announced, and it's a girl. Chicory, who was hatched on April 23rd, was greeted with a pink box of toys this morning, revealing the big news to onlooking guests. Audubon had been awaiting a DNA test to determine Chicory's gender. Visitors can meet Chicory by stopping by the penguin exhibit at the Audubon Aquarium or online at Animal Planet's live penguin cam. Next in sports, a standout at Saints camp who's impressing coaches at OTAs ahead of the team's training camp in West Virginia.
The Tigers defeated ULL in the Super Regional, clinching their 17th ticket to Omaha. It was a great day in Baton Rouge as fans packed Alex Box Stadium to watch the Battle of the Bayou between the Tigers and ULL. The Tigers took the series in 2, stamping their ticket back to the College World Series.
We set our eyes on the whole year, and we finally got there, and it's great to accomplish it.
Sophomore pitcher Jared Poche only allowed 1 run on 5 hits, with a walk and 7 strikeouts getting the job done on the mound.
I couldn't have done it without these guys on the side of me, and the rest of the defense. Those guys played great behind me, and it was a good night.
Senior standout Alex Bregman performed well on defense, but struggled at the plate for most of the tournament, having an 0 for 15 slump until Game 2. Bregman saw the right pitch from Gunnar Leger just in time to help his teammates win the Super Regional.
Got a pitch change up in the zone that I could get on top of, and was fortunate enough to put a good swing on it. We're gonna be ready to play in Omaha, and we're gonna be ready to swing the bats in Omaha.
Take it a game at a time, inning at a time, pitch at a time. You know, we got great teams we're gonna play up there, and we got to be ready to go.
Coach Maneri feels that the World Series is exactly where his Tigers belong.
This team deserves to go to Omaha. It's a very selfless team that plays well together. They genuinely like each other, and I couldn't be more proud of a team going to Omaha. That's where we belong, and we're looking forward to going up there.
It's evident all Tiger fans are proud to say that the only place the eye of the Tiger is seeing is Omaha. The Tigers will leave for Omaha on Friday, beginning their journey to the national championship. Turning now to the Saints, the attention not on first-round Andrews Pete, instead on free agent cornerback Delvin Breaux. Nick Ducote has more on the OTAs.
Hi, I'm Nick Ducote here at Saints camp, where the news was about Delvin Breaux, the cornerback from the Canadian League, and not about the first-round draft pick Andrews Pete. Pete, who has been absent for the past 8 OTAs, has been finishing his degree at Stanford. He already has been praised as the heir apparent to left tackle Zach Strief and the future of the Saints offensive line. But the big news from the last day of OTAs wasn't about the Saints' first-round draft pick. It was about Delvin Breaux, a free agent cornerback from the Canadian Football League. Breaux, a New Orleans native who played at McDonough 35, had a one-handed interception in today's practice and is already being sought as the new nickel cornerback in the Saints defense, which is badly needed.
The opportunity is great. Like I say, it's just learning from the veteran players. It's just a tremendous opportunity of Brandon Brown and Kenny Lewis and them helping me out every day after practice, critiquing the way I play, and it's been tremendous.
Next up for the Saints is training camp, which starts on July 29th and is open to the public on July 30th. Until then, I'm Nick Ducote.
Well, that's a look at sports. We'll be right back.
All right, here's a look at your 7-day exactcast. No big changes to start the week, but at the end of the week, we do have higher rain chances slightly, and temperatures just a smidge lower, closer to normal, which is 92 degrees. Gina.
All right, Quaylen Murphy, and from all of the interns, that is the news for now. Thanks for joining us. Have a good night.